Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here on Friday. It is Socialites Day. We're going to talk about making a wreath, and I want to do a little UFO chatter. Oh, and by the way, it's Sail Away Day. So the next part of Sail Away is out. Let's do Socialites first. That is a block called Bright. There we go. It's a pretty neat block. I'll pull it up. I think that this would look really good in repeat, and you could make it scrappy. The reason why I think this is a really good scrappy quilt is if you leave the background all light, then you could use a lot of different fabrics in here. I think that would really work well for a scrappy quilt with this block. This is from the Fat Quarter Shop Sew Along. There's still a few more blocks left in this sew along, so we're getting close, but not quite there yet. A few more weeks. Now I want to show you. Well, first, it's called Bright, so I would love for you to share a quilt that you have made that you consider bright. And I'm going to show you one of mine from years and years and years ago. What happened is I was working a lot with McCall's magazine, and I would submit designs and submit new upcoming fabric collections. They would tell me, here are some upcoming ones. Can you design something to showcase one of these? What does it interest you? And there was this line that was very bright and very playful, and I designed this wreath pattern rather, for the magazine. And then I contacted the manufacturer and I ordered what I needed, and when it came, it was like a really big box, and I was like, wow, that seems sort of bigger than I was expecting. Well, this was bright flannel. It was flannel, printed flannel, which is a little bit thicker than like woven flannel. So I have this huge bright flannel quilt, and it weighed like 400 pounds. I mean, it was so heavy, this whole quilt. It just cracked me up that I ended up, I've thought of this more like a summery type fabric, and it was flannel. So that is my bright quilt for today. So I hope you share one of yours over at my community at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan on Facebook, or at my website today. There's a share there, so if you can share one of your bright quilts there if you like. All right, let's talk UFOs. So I have in my trusty folder, I have the sheet that I wrote down what all I would like to do. And have I done any of them? No, that's Zippo. So what I did is I decided to put the little Valentine one with the typewriter that says I love you. I decided to put that one up on the wall, because as soon as I get these other couple things done, I will put the binding on that one, because it is small, so that binding is not going to take long. I could maybe even do it really late at night, because it's not going to be published anywhere. So I could do it when I'm tired. That's a bad thing to think, right? Like, I could do that one when I'm tired. Like, no, but that's true. That's how I think sometimes. It's like, well, don't want to do the things that have to be super precise when I'm tired. I could do the other fun things then. Anyway, I'm digressed. As always, I've digressed. So that is why that is up there, to get at least one UFO done. One, only one in May. All right. The Sail Away, oops, I also did not do any more stitching, so this is all I did for the lighthouse. Yay! Yay, Pat! So what is the next one? Let's see. It is the sailboat. So pretty. So my thought is, what do I do? Do I just leave this and move on to the sailboat? I'd already gotten the thread out to do a little bit of the lighthouse part. I'm thinking I'm going to just do the little bit of the lighthouse up here at the top, the cupola part, and then I will go on to the sailboat. But I am sure that my goal might be to finish this in June. But I'm going to do a little bit of each one. I'm going to do a little bit of each one here in May as they come out. I will do a section of it and just keep it moving forward. You do what you can do, right? You do what you can do. So let's talk. I gotta move some stuff here. So let's talk about the wreath pattern. Ta-da! Link is down below. You can go down there, get it. So you can, and it's also on my website today. So if you're getting my emails, you would get an email over there. And while you're there, while you're here, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. So the wreath pattern is super easy. We have, I have no color in my printer right now. Their color printer died, so we just have a black and white, and Greg is researching which color printer to get. I don't need to print color that often, but right now I would like to have a cross-stitch chart in color, and this would have been great in color, but I can pop a picture up here instead. There it is in color. So there's the wreath, the bow, the background. So here's the background. So fabric, and then behind, inside the wreath. So there's like, this is more decorative on the on the outside here. This fabric, a little bit more pizzazz to it. So there's not that many fabrics. You can probably make this from what you have in your stash. You can make a spring one. I'm going to make a patriotic one. So I pulled some fabric. I have 2 bundles, and I'm just going to show you what my options are, because I think both bundles are pretty cool, and I may end up just pulling things from each. Whoops, come back up here. I am not going to pick my fabric until Monday. Monday I'm going to walk through and audition it and see where I want to do the placement. But I wanted to show you the options I have because they are so fun. This one here is called the Patriotic. It's a Riley Blake bundle. I believe there's like a curated bundle, so Fat Quarter Shop put it together. And I also have this Blossom, which has red and blue on the white. So the little tiny flowers. And this will be what's behind the wreath. Let me get the wreath here. So this Blossom is what I'm going to use in here, behind the wreath, so that this pops. So these pop. But I'm going to use something more interesting on this outer, so it gives a little zip. So let's look at this bundle here. And we've got, there's some cool pinwheels. Those would be nice on the outer edge. And keep this here so you can see it a little bit in the corner. These would be kind of cool on the outer edge. There's some stars. There's also like a big text print like this, which would be, you cut to fussy cut it, and I only have a fat quarter, so that may not work on that one. Same with here. These might just, but this one might work. That would be kind of cool. I've got a great red. This one might be a neat bow if I did a blue wreath and I did a red bow. And then here these 2 options would be great for that inner border. If I did red, here's like the words. And it says, Ose, can you see? And then more stars, and then here's navy. So for the wreath itself, this navy floral looks fantastic. So if I had this navy floral, I'm just sort of auditioning, mini auditioning, navy floral with a plaid wreath. Or if you wanted to get really solid navy, but I'm thinking because the background would be white, this white with the little dots, the little flower shapes, this wreath fabric might be pretty good. So that is what this has in this bundle. And the other bundle has some great options too. It's called American Style, and I have you all linked down below. American Style has another great navy that could be the wreath, because I want the wreath to stand out. I don't want it to disappear. The ribbon, that is cool. It could go on the outer edge maybe if I wanted something out here, that ribbon. And then depending on what I picked for the wreath and the bow, even something like this could be this inner strip, if it's got enough contrast. Here's some cool, look at this. Really cool. If you had enough of this to do fussy cutting, that would work out here on the outer edge. You could get these, pinwheels out there. What else do we have here? We've got some reds with stars, which would be another option for a wreath bow, the bow on there. So I want the bow to really pop. I don't want it to blend in. There's some light blue. If you like the light blue with the stars, that would be great for the outer edge. Now this one would not use. It's a directional print. It's an awesome print, but it's like something you'd put for a border with the flags. So it's just not really for the wreath. Another one with a lot of pattern, which could go on that outer edge. This is a great one for the outer edge. I like both this one because strong red, white, and blue, and then the ribbons on white. And then there's actually just a white on white with stars. All of these are great fun, and I will be very excited on Monday to make my decision on these. On Mondays, I will talk about and go through the steps of this, although I tell you, once you get started, you're just going to go, 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 because it is not difficult. It is really easy. But then we want to get it quilted, so that'll be the next part after we do this, because when you quilt this, I would like to see it so that the wreath really stands out. So I'll quilt it, it will not be just, you know, horizontal lines on it or wave stitch just top to bottom. I want to do something that, you know, makes the wreath pop out. All right, my friend, do your Socialites block today and show me a bright quilt if you have one that's bright, and download the pattern for the wreath and think about making a wreath with me. It's one of these that is very fast, and most, you know, if you want to get some patriotic fabric, you have plenty of time to do that. So I love you. Mwah. See you online.